Hello everyone, my name is Carlos. I am a photographer, game developer, and watch enthusiast, and today I'm going to talk to you guys about the bronze STEELDIVE 1970 turtle diver. So about 3 weeks ago, I got this watch on the mail, and I went ahead and I recorded kind of like an unboxing and first impression so that you guys can get an idea of not just what it's like to get an opinion for somebody who's been wearing this watch for a couple of weeks, but actually get an opinion of like, were my first impressions just like really positive and really exciting. So anyways, here's the unboxing. I hope you enjoy it. All right, we got it. Okay, here we go, finally. Second bag was a lot easier. All right, so far, pretty standard STEELDIVE kind of plastic case. Now, I'm really excited about this watch. However, this is the second STEELDIVE that I ordered. I got one delivered to me last week. It was a 1975 kind of baby tuna homage kind of thing, and unfortunately it was a total dud. But if you're more interested in knowing about that watch, please check out the video that I posted, and it will be, you know, somewhere here. We'll put a link to it. All right, guys, so here we go. Opening the case. First impressions. Okay. I mean, I paid 150 bucks for this watch. 150 bucks with a brunch case, NH35 goodness. This one's actually pretty nice, man. It's a little bit more expensive than the 1975, but the other one's just stainless steel watch, and this one's actually a bronze watch. Kind of a Seiko Willard kind of homage thing. You know, so far, just on looks alone, I really like this. 150 bucks is pretty nuts. You know, the bezel on this one's pretty good as far as the feel goes. Doesn't make a lot of sound, but it does feel tight. Maybe it'll loosen up over time, but not too tight. And like zero back play. This is pretty good. Maybe a little bit, tad bit of back play. It looks like it lines up pretty good. One of the cool things about this particular design is that while it does have a chapter ring, the chapter ring doesn't have minute markers. The minute markers are actually on the dial, which basically means like, as long as your bezel is aligned, you pretty much got a keeper. You don't have to worry about chapter rings because the chapter rings basically just copper. But you know what? 150 bucks, this thing looks amazing, bro. Like it is really good. Let's say this crown, good pop on the crown. Like the crown and the action on the crown is way better than on the 1975 that was a total dud. Changing the date works fine, hack's good. All right, so when I play with the setting the time, there's a little bit of wiggle on the second hand, and that worries me. That's something that I noticed on the other STEELDIVE, the 1975, was that the second hand would wiggle. And unfortunately, that movement had a lot of problems. It came with super low amplitude. It was losing about a minute a day, and it was just a total loser. So far, this one's definitely gonna be a keeper. It looks great. Man, the box crystal on this thing is freaking awesome. This one actually has overlaid markers on like the 1975, which has just like this little prints that almost look like cow poop. So very impressed with this watch. I think, man, if this just has like a half decent NH35 in it, that's like in decent health, this thing's gonna be amazing. I think the only thing that I might do is change the strap. The strap seems fine, it's rubber. I personally just don't like the aesthetics. I feel like it looks kind of cheap. Anyways, I'll give you guys more details on this watch and get you some awesome footage. But as I said, so far, first impression is really good. I'm gonna put this guy in the timegrapher and we'll see what we get. So after wearing this watch pretty regularly for about 3 weeks, I feel like I've definitely been able to like form some pretty strong opinions about STEELDIVE as a company and also of this 1970 diver. There's definitely a few things from the first impression that stand out to me. I can tell you that the bezel is something that, while it still feels about the same as when I first tried it, I really don't like the bezel action. The bezel action does feel pretty cheap. It does have quite a bit of overplay and it's just kind of clunky and nasty, but I think that it's also perfectly in line with what I would expect from a watch that's like $150. On some of the beauty footage that I took that I shared with you guys, you will see a really nice button leather band that I matched up with the watch, and I think that for people who are not planning to actually get wet, something like that with quick release bars is probably going to be your best choice, as this doesn't really play very well with any kind of like NATO style setup. And the problem is that the actual case back of the watch is really thick, which means that whenever you use any bands that are actually run under the watch, it's gonna lift the watch of your wrist quite a bit, not let it sit quite naturally as to when you're just using kind of quick release bars. However, I noticed that if you use single pass NATOs or these single pass kind of elastic nylon Marine National style bands, the effect's still there, but it's not nearly as bad. I think that this is still acceptable, but it's just like a small pet peeve. The other thing that I would touch on is that in the last 3 weeks, I've actually was able to get this thing on the timegrapher, and I've also been wearing it and sort of trying to keep track of like what the accuracy is like on the wrist, and I am very happy to report that the NH35 on this watch is actually like phenomenal. It's really good. The average positional difference across the 6 different positions is around 6 to 8 seconds, which is really good for an NH35, and out of the box this was running around 2 seconds per day. So to be completely honest, like this is not something that I would regulate any farther. I definitely feel confident in the fact that this watch is running pretty much within cost spec. So the last kind of note about this watch is kind of like the big thing that makes this watch special. The reason why you would pay $50 for this watch extra versus getting the steel version for, you know, under $100, and that is the fact that it's an actual bronze watch. Now, there's a couple of things that I learned from bronze just simply from my experiences with this watch. Now, I haven't done any of the forced patination. I was kind of trying to wear the watch as it comes out of the box and seeing how much patina it potentially built just by me wearing it around the house and doing things, and honestly just getting sweaty with it. Natural patination does take a long time, and I would say that one of the things that nobody on YouTube or on the forums really talks about when they talk about like the beauty and how awesome aged bronze looks is that the patination, which usually turns either blue or green or can have those hints of color, also rubs off on your skin, which means that after wearing this watch, just cleaning your garage or doing the lawn or doing anything that makes you sweat, you might take it off and your skin might actually be green because the patina rubs off your skin and turns your skin the same color is trying to turn the watch. So I feel like that is something that I personally kind of struggle with. And I also think that this is maybe one of the reasons why a lot of people kind of look at like forcing patination. I've read in some places that if you wear your watch enough and it builds enough patina, that patina will actually protect the metal from your sweat, which means that it will kind of cease to patina any farther. And that means less green on the watch and therefore less green on your skin. However, there's reports of skins running green pretty much for the entire ownership period of having a bronze watch. Now you might think, hey, this is something that's unique to STEELDIVE because STEELDIVE is a Chinese brand and they're really cheap and really affordable. So obviously that might not be the same with a more high-end bronze watch. And I don't think it's correct. I think that when you look at the type of bronze that STEELDIVE offers is CUS N8, which it's the kind of bronze copper alloy that you would usually see on most high-end watches. And they use this particular combination because that's what's gonna give you this kind of like rose gold and darker brownish patination with those hints of green. So I think that this is what you're going to see across pretty much most of the bronze watches in the industry. So with all of those things in mind, who is this watch really for? I think that this is a great watch if bronze watches are something that you want to experiment with. there's a lot of fun about bronze watches, you know, like if you're okay with bronze potentially turning your skin green, or maybe you're just on the fence about it, having your first bronze watch be something that's super affordable, like $150, means that you get to experience all of that. You get to wear it for a while, you see just how your skin reacts to it, do you have that green problem or not, and also you can play around with some of the forced patination techniques that you see online, whether it's like hard-boiled eggs or vinegar and salt. And you can play with all of those things, and if you mess anything up, or if you realize in the end that maybe bronze watches is not for you because they're just too much of a pain in the ass and they're maybe not worth the look for like all of the things that kind of go into the wearing experience, then at least you're not a lot of money in. However, for $150, if you actually happen to love the bronze thing and you figured out, you know, how you want to age your watch, or maybe you just want to wear it naturally and letting it patina naturally over time is something that's exciting to you, and you don't mind maybe, you know, having to wash your wrists relatively quickly after maybe sweating a little bit. At that point, you can basically level up to a more expensive watch, knowing that if you spend $1,000, $2,000, $3,000 on a bronze watch that's from a high-end manufacturer, that you're all in, that your expectations have been set. Like, you know what goes into wearing a bronze watch, maintaining a bronze watch, and just basically having that experience. For me, I'm kind of still on the fence about all of this. Like, the fact that it started turning my skin green did kind of shake me a little bit. So I'm not sure if something that turns my skin green is something that I'm willing to devote a lot of time into, but I might try doing the forced patination and then wearing it for a while and see if like that kind of helps a little bit. There's also other hacks online, like, you know, putting some sort of like covering in between your wrist and the watch and stuff like that so that it doesn't turn your skin green. But, you know, me personally, I just like to grab my favorite watch, put it on and go. I don't really want to like be putting lacquer on my copper watch so that the patina doesn't rough off on my skin. Like, also that technically keeps it from patinating. So I don't know, it seems like, you know, like a lot of the workarounds for not getting the green on your skin basically make you miss out on a large part of what it means to wear a bronze watch. I don't know. Anyways, let me know what you guys think about bronze watches. Also, if you get a chance, please like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. You know, this is, I think, my third video on YouTube. So your participation really helps. You know, starting a YouTube channel from scratch is really hard because YouTube will simply not show your video to other people that might enjoy it. So the only way in which I can make sure that people who might enjoy this content see it is by people like you that clicked on it and stayed this long on the video, like it, comment, and subscribe. Anyways, guys, I really appreciate you guys. Please let me know what you guys think of the video. Please let me know what you think of bronze watches. Do you guys have any hacks or workarounds to avoid ending up with a green wrist after wearing your bronze watch for, you know, like a full day of work? Yeah, just share your thoughts with me, and I'll see you guys on the next video. Thanks for watching. Bye.